I picked up this box of Primaris Intercessors because I watched Rogue Hobby's video on the Rainbow Warriors, and I thought they were a fabulous idea, but I wanted to try. Get crazy with the colors, but I tried my hand at it and got a little frustrated, so I wanted to put that on the back burner. And then I realized I never painted a blue boy before, so I should at least get one of those under my belt, just to see how the paint behaves. And of course I used the recipe from the Citadel app. So I was going to use Monument Paints to do a Rainbow Warrior, and you can see this is one layer and I wasn't really happy with it. So he's going to be the blue boy. I decided against the Purity Seal because he was going to be a Rainbow Warrior. So the color selection's pretty simple. I mean, you got the blue, you got the silver, you got the black. I kind of forget completely about the red because of the little eyeballs. Oh yeah, and the gold, which, I mean, I have most of these colors already, and I always improvise for some of the highlights because you don't need very much, and I have enough paints already, so I don't want to buy more. Starting lineup: Leadbelcher, Abaddon, and McCraggy. And as usual, I thin my paints with high flow medium, not water. And I'm digging my new my wet palette. I like this size. Since I don't paint lots and lots of stuff, it's a good size. I want to say I did at least 2 layers of paint, maybe 2.5 to touch up, because it was really hard to get it over the monument stuff. This is the first time I felt free enough to just mop the miniature. Normally, I'm not comfortable with that. But there's just so much blue. So much blue everywhere. So this is what the gold trim looks like after maybe 2 or 3 layers. It's a bit messy and I gotta go over the blue, but we all know how that works. Now I'm just going to touch up the black and the blue. And I know people think shade is cheating, but boy, I really love the effects. So null oil on everything, but the gold obviously gets bricklined. So to highlight the gold, I mix Stormhost Silver with Retributor Armor. I tried to find a happy medium between the two because I really don't want to pick up another gold paint. So to highlight my silvery areas, I add some Monument, I think Vibrant White or Berry White, not sure which one. It's the only white I own. And I add that to the Stormhost Silver. This blurry video is meant to showcase the first highlight of the Aquila on the chest. And I use Stormhost Silver as my third highlight in the gold areas. At this point, I figured out I can almost dry brush it on. So this is, I know it looks funny, but it was working. So on to highlighting the blue. I mix McCraggy with Fenrisian, and then Fenrisian is the second highlight. Yeah, I wouldn't choose Fenrisian for the second highlight, I think. I would have gone a little darker. I really have a hard time controlling it. So I decide enough is enough. I gotta stop torturing myself with these different colors, so I decide to assemble him. There's something so final when you're gluing the little guy together and you're worried, do I have it right? Do I have enough glue? I know if he hits the floor, he's still gonna pop and bits and pieces are gonna fly. When I was building my Thousand Suns, head position was really important because you wanted them to be all just a little different. And, not everybody can look at the same way. But I think I'm only going to make one blue boy, one ultramarine like this. So I think I'm safe with whichever I sort of point his head direction to. So much highlight. But with him assembled, it'll be easier to sort of edit out all the extra highlighting since you can only see so much when he's put together. When you have the pieces opened up, you end up highlighting things that no one will ever see because it's glued to his body. I'm hoping this will make this process a little easier. And I'm a bit heavy-handed with the very pale blue. I know it's a struggle. It's scary how the paint, when it dries, it pales up so that it's less obnoxious. I like that aspect of it. So if I am heavy-handed, it gets better if I wait. Can you tell me and the paint handles? None of the paint handles get along. I like holding the model, and I know that the oils on my hands are not good for the model, not good for the paint, but maybe I should wear gloves. my heart goes out to anyone who's doing parade-ready Ultramarines. So much blue trim. Crazy. And after a while, I got to thinking, whoever makes that Citadel example, he's also probably unwell. Because how many he had to paint before he got to the look that they wanted for the, you know, the picture perfect one. So here he is with the first highlight. I'm pretty happy with him. It's not terrible. I mean, if I painted a couple more, my technique would get a lot better. I would definitely edit out even more of what I highlighted, looking at what other people did. And second set of highlights even harder because you have to be really careful, and yeah. So I forgot his eyeballs. It's Screamer Paint, Carrisburg Crimson, Emperor's Children, and Pink Horror. All in that order. And I didn't thin them like I normally do. I might have put a little bit of water on the paintbrush first. I forgot to prime it, so we're going to see how well I can do that. So pause the video if you need to figure it out, but you know, I do it different pretty much every time because I never know what I'm doing. You can tell, I really didn't want to think too much about it. I'm just slapping this stuff on there. I mean, yeah, this is sped up just so it's less tedious, but yeah. Sterling mud. Where have you been all my life? I just don't want to get too much on the Marine because I'm not big on dirty figures. Nail art tools. So great for this stuff. I picked it up years ago when I was doing Fimo sculpting. Really like the tools. I think that's the last one I have though. Everything else is sort of lost in the move. I didn't have to wait too long for it to dry. And I find dryad bark is a really good match for Sterling. Brushes meant for dry brushing are really good at getting into the cracks. And then I go in with I think a size 4 or a size 3 brush. Bane Blade Brown's my highlight because I think it's the only light brownish that I have in a Citadel color. Yeah, I think I prefer doing this dry brush without the figure on the base. It's just easier. And I don't really dry brush in a traditional sense of the light swiping because I feel like it's too much coverage. I like to just sort of spot dab it because that gives it just enough. And I like to give my tufts a haircut. It's not really the best haircut, but I don't like them too long, too floofy. With the base all done, I really like him. Do I plan on doing more? I doubt it, but he's pretty good. So thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.